Booyah, there we go. Hello, everyone. Thank you very much for joining us, and welcome to Firing Range, a podcast to talk about all things Destiny weapons, abilities, loadouts, and the sandbox at large. And I've been away. I've been out in the woods for a while. Like punching trees with my bare hands and stuff like that. You guys playing Minecraft, you know what I'm talking about. But it's good to be back. We are now knee-deep in Season 15, and I've only had like 2 or 3 days to really sink my teeth into it so far. So you guys are going to have a little bit more ground to stand on than me. I'm really trying to play catch-up. I think I'm doing a pretty good job so far. I've got all the PvE junk covered with all the hidden quest crap. You know, we got a new exotic maybe coming up, but I'm trying to wrap my head around all the changes and all the we're in a different meta now. It's kind of wild. But boys, how you doing? How's everybody doing?
Doing great.
Pretty good.
Good.
I'm liking this season so far. I'll just go ahead and say that.
You digging it?
Same.
Giving me good Destiny vibes.
Good Destiny vibes. Yeah, from what I've played so far, I'm very much enjoying it. There's like so much to talk about. Is there any activity before we dive into specific junk? Is there any activity that you guys have really been enjoying? You've been digging PvP, any of the new story stuff, any of that thing?
As usual, the art team knocked it out of the park. You go in some of these new seasonal activity things and you're blown away.
Yeah, the Shattered Realm is
Shattered
awesome.
Realm, exactly.
They always go ham with the new areas. They're very good.
But the important thing is the sandbox PvP is feeling a lot better.
It's feeling clean right now.
Yeah, I mean, I agree. I mean, just to add to it before we kind of get into our show here.
Sure.
Like Cam was saying, I'm having a lot of fun. I think that I mean, really, we're doing this podcast before Trials comes back, and I feel that if Trials is sustainable and Trials is doing good, like it really could be overall one of the best spots Destiny's been in a while. So I mean, we've had a lot of hardships with whatever it might be within the game, but I mean, things are looking really, really good. So let's hope Trials gets knocked out of the park.
Yeah, we are recording on Wednesday, September 8th right now, and we are just days away from the new quote and improved Trials experience. We hope anyway. Man, I just really hope that it's super fun. And isn't this going to be the first Trials where 3-peaking is officially dead and buried?
Yeah.
That's kind of huge. Like, yeah, Drew,
shorter rounds too, right?
Mini quiet pop off from Drew. Fist pump of victory there. Yeah, I know Drew's been very outspoken about hating 3-peaking in Trials. Like on borderline the same level as like cheating. Maybe. It makes it unfun, right? Like, I mean, to me, I think it makes it kind of lame. But yeah, they're taking that away completely if you're living under a rock. I think they're taking away the ability to emote, and if you try to use a sword, what happens?
Swaps back to another weapon, I believe, if I'm not mistaken.
If you don't have ammo.
Yeah.
Gotcha. Yeah, not too shabby. Not too shabby, gentlemen.
Full experience should be better. The games should move faster as they should.
Right.
I mean, it's going to be a completely different experience than what we've experienced so far in D2. Like, it should be completely different. Just the round time and 3-peaking alone is going to help everything flow along.
Yeah.
And on top of that, I believe the ammo economy is getting a little bit of a change.
Oh, the ammo economy.
Not only are scavengers more expensive this time around, but they're less valuable because ammo is not carrying over to the next round anymore. Everyone starts flat with, I think it's the 2 shots or 2 special ammo bullets, right? So that is pretty interesting, I think. I think these are all really small changes that are going to go a long way in terms of just quality of life and how Trials should play.
It's going to make me think on using Cloud Strike, man. Cloud Strike's a rapid fire. And it doesn't double body, so I can't even kill one person, but I'll get headshots. It's kind of a risk-reward thing. Because, I mean, at max, I'm going to get 3. Like, if I kill someone, take a brick without a scabby, and then like it goes away. So I might just go to high impact snipers. But we'll see how it all plays
Yeah.
out.
Good news
I'm
though,
not
I've
ready to make
never
that decision
seen
yet.
I've never seen a cool guy miss a headshot, so it shouldn't be
Oh,
that big
yeah,
of a
well.
problem.
The legends are true. So
Oh man. All right, let's we got so much to talk about. We can just feel free to dive right in, I guess. I wasn't sure what we wanted to start off with because we have so much in the bucket. We got new weapons or returning weapons, I guess. And we have weapons that have been elevated to a new level. Before we really get the ball rolling, I wanted to talk to a few people about Vex Mythoclast. Does anybody have any strong... I think we all predicted it would be strong.
I got the heated takes. I had the volcano take.
Cammy with the volcano nuke take.
Was it buffed enough in PvP? Feels like finally a competitive auto rifle, and even despite as strong as Vex is, I still, push comes to shove, I have to win the match. Hand cannon boy.
That is an interesting take. Drew, what I want to talk to you about this.
Drew's maining it, man.
Yeah, because last time I talked to him, I think he was going to main it hardcore. So what do you got for me here, Drew?
I've accumulated 4,700 kills so far with it.
Wow.
How many of those are linear?
Pretty strong.
Like 3.
I actually don't use the linear one
About
mode
10.
as much.
Yeah.
Like probably like 10.
The stab stacks,
I know
right?
I use the linear mode when when I'm using a shotgun with it, which like if most of you know me, is not often.
Mhm.
So I don't use that so much. I just love that it feels like a great AR. It feels. I will say that I think it's a bit strong. I don't think it's quite as problematic maybe as some folks potentially could make it out to be. The biggest thing that I noticed that feels problematic is the range. The range feels like really really far.
Very good
but-
for an auto rifle.
Yeah,
or
yeah.
very good for something that feels like an auto rifle.
Yeah,
not technically an auto rifle.
it's hard for me to describe exactly how this weapon feels, but if you guys have ever played, I've been saying this a lot. If you guys have ever played Call of Duty and you know the difference between like an AR and an SMG in that game,
Mhm.
both of them have the potential to perform really well up close. Fundamentally, they shoot the same, not crazy different. But we know that an AR feels more consistent and kind of like laser beamy at range, and an SMG, while it can still do decently-ish at range, it feels like it's so much more forgiving and shreds in close range. That's how kind of Vex Mythoclast feels against SMGs to me in this game. And that makes me really happy because I don't think other ARs, a lot of them feel like this without being blatantly overpowered like the Gnawing Hunger was. So I noticed when I've been using it, still get shredded by SMGs in close range. It feels like I still have the agency to go toe-to-toe with them, but their gun's more forgiving. It fires more shots rapidly, so like overall just fast time to kill, in some cases faster time to kill, and more forgiving. But at further ranges, it feels like Vex is just like a really good auto rifle. I wish more guns kind of felt like this. I believe the range is 29 meters before damage fall off, but because it's acknowledged as an auto rifle pretty much, it drops kind of not as harshly as a hand cannon, obviously. So it lasts for quite a while still. So I think that should be brought down a couple meters. I also think that you should get less linear fusion shots in PvP,
Okay.
if that's possible, or maybe make the kills worth less. I think a lot of people have a problem with that linear fusion mode, and it's quite forgiving, to be honest. So like, I would agree with that. Yeah, those are my only issues with it. Funny enough, when I was using it in Garden of Salvation, its aim assist cone and accuracy cones actually just an SMG. It's like literally the same as an SMG, which I thought was like pretty interesting. So it quite literally just feels like an SMG with a lot more range and AR rate of fire, which ends up feeling really, really good. So I don't know. I like it. I think it's incredibly strong. It's my choice to use. Does it need a nerf? Probably. Like I said, I think taking the range down a little bit would be fair. Bring it more like, to the 450 auto type feeling range. But it being an auto with 15 zoom just feels great, because I think a lot of the other autos have such high zoom even at 16 that it just feels too jarring for me. And I think this again feels like the perfect kind of that beam COD AR feeling type weapon that I've wanted in this game. So it's a lot of fun.
Here's a question I got for you. Where did it go? Here we go. One of our user questions from Twitter, because usually we flap our gums on this show, pretty damn good, and we often don't have time for a lot of questions. But I'm trying to get into the habit of bringing questions into the convo when they seem to be relevant. So here's one from Tarkvin. Any good tips for countering the Mythoclast? And I found that, like, I don't know about you guys, but if there's ever a weapon I think is really strong, like, I play with it a lot, because then when you play with it more, you take a mental note of, like, when you lose engagements, you know what I mean? And you're like, okay, what am I having trouble with? Like, if you're ever trying to find the weakness of a gun, like, just go play with it a bunch and then take a mental note every time you get killed. But for right now, for all y'all, what do you think the Mythoclast would struggle to compete against in PvP?
Range and cover, man. It's a full auto. Let's remember, it's full auto. You can peek shot that. It's classic. Yeah. I mean, classic how you beat that.
Play cover and do a little, like, peek shooting with something big burst damage, like a hand cannon, something like that. Yeah.
I feel like when people ask this question, they're thinking of sixes. So in sixes, pay attention to the feed. You'll know who the Mythoclast user is in the feed, and you'll know they'll spun up crowd control or rampage, whatever it is, and they'll be ready to beam you because they have extra damage.
I think that's an important point talking about sixes that I forgot to mention, is that this gun is going to perform exponentially better in sixes because its catalyst, damage boost, its damage accuracy and stability boost on kill. That's, like, very significant. I don't think that goes beyond the ability of, like, an SMG. I have a Shayura's with tunnel vision and kill clip, which, like, essentially starts emulating the same thing. But because Vex has so much more range, it is very significant. But that is not going to happen very often, or starts to feel a little bit win more in threes, I think. Whereas, like, in trials you get a pick, you're kind of already in the advantage. In sixes, though, that's like it's menacing, as lots of kill bonuses are. So I think Cam's point there is, like, really important, and I don't think this weapon will shine quite as much in threes as a result. Sorry, cool guy.
No, well, it also rides a fine line here, right? Because it is a raid exotic. I mean, we've had times where raid exotics are too good, sometimes they're too bad, and this one did come out not too good, and they decided to buff it, and there's still the fine line too of people not getting the drop rate. And that's something I don't like, because it is something strong. It's something you want to strive for, but you fall victim to RNG. So it's one of those things, like, I mean, it probably could be toned down a little bit, but a lot of people aren't going to be able to play with it when it's kind of fun, because I don't think that it's quite oppressive. I think many of them together, if you face a full team of them, it really is. But if you can single out a Vex user, you can do okay against them. Again, using those things, range, cover, and playing against that full auto, you can do okay. But
hard light, right? Like, hard light is an example of oppressive auto rifle.
Yeah.
It's not.
Yeah, that was
It's good.
Yeah.
It's strong.
Yeah.
But it's just the best auto rifle that we have. It's not like hard light, where hard light was, like, meta defining for a period of time.
Oh yeah.
And Vex Mythoclast is just, like, it's pretty strong.
Yeah. But I mean, I would like to see the drop rates go up on it on Bungie's part, so more people can get it and play with it. I know some people have done 45, 50 runs. I mean, it's like anarchy all over again, man, for some people.
Here's a question that we got from somebody on Twitter, from the Q&A portion of the show. From Largo, does Vex need a nerf, not because of its strength, but because of its rarity factor? So, like what you were mentioning, because I feel like Bungie's put themselves in a really tough position. They're kind of damned if they do, and they're damned if they don't, regarding the strength of a unique raid exotic. Because if you come out with a weak, garbage raid exotic, then it becomes a meme, right? Everybody laughs at it. It's like, wow, why would we even run this raid if the weapon is just so trash? Like, it's laughably bad. Like, it's like, this is what the content that we're paying for, like, it's just this joke exotic. But then on the other end, if you have a weapon like Vex Mytho, which is really strong, and you're gonna have a lot of people out there who are probably never gonna be able to use the gun ever.
Yeah.
Like, so, yeah.
I ripped into it on day one. I mean, Cool Guy and I earned it the first try.
Yeah, very.
Oh, you
very
guys were
first.
day one
It
earners,
was you,
right?
me, and Gigs. Gigs got it
Yeah.
too.
We immediately tried it in a private match, and we're like, "That's it? That's all it does? Wow, this is
So
terrible." We ripped into it.
big thing to talk
Pre-buff,
about here
yeah.
is the difference between M&K and controller.
Mm-hmm.
That is
Obviously,
true.
I'm a controller
Yeah.
player.
Mhm.
It feels really good on a controller, man. It all the bonuses that it gives is free real estate for someone's head. Dude, it really is.
It does
Cam,
slap on controller.
how
Yeah.
you feeling with M&K with it?
Feels good to me. It feels
Feels
like
good?
a usable auto rifle, like I said. And this is coming back to that first day where we ripped into it. Bungie must have heard some feedback from the community and said, "All right, hold my tincture of Queen's foil." They turned every knob up.
Yeah,
And
the
here I am
feel
on
of the
M&K
weapon.
using the auto rifle, and I still think maybe it could use more in some regards, or maybe other auto rifles need that bump up because these are fun to use. It's
Yeah.
nice using something other than a hand cannon, but I still feel that on M&K, hand cannon is the answer.
Especially, I mean, with your in air too, just overall
Mhm.
accuracy.
Just the amount of chunk damage you can do and then just slide back into cover.
You know,
How are you ever going to beat those things in
Yeah,
competitive?
exactly.
How are you going to be doing massive chunk damage, being able to be airborne and be accurate, and being able to pop in and out of cover? Like, unless
Yeah,
you make scout
exactly,
rifles
Merc.
really good or pulse rifles really good, auto rifles will always have those weaknesses because fundamentally that's the way those guns work.
yeah, I mean, if you're using an auto, like you want to catch people out in the open in a field.
Mhm, yeah.
That's where they shine. But you
Yeah,
know, with Vex, if they do change it, I don't think they should touch the stability and accuracy on it, man, because it feels good. It feels good because it felt really bad before.
Probably roll the rate of fire back to match the other high impacts without neutering it and just give it a little bit more wiggle room to where you can leave it feeling good. I doubt most people are going to notice a 2-frame difference, TTK. But it does serve to elevate it over a lot of other 390s because like I've been using Crushera Mellow or whatever, like the brand new 390 360 that we got. Actually feels pretty good. Like actually feels pretty great. I have one with max stability. It's quite nice on controller, right? But it's just all those things that you were talking about before. It's just not competitive when it comes down to it. If I've got an Unbroken with Ace of Spades peeking me, like it's hard to use. It's hard to use an auto rifle against that.
Well, that's the thing, right? So I was gonna mention after what Cool Guy said, it's like you're against the highest level or even solid players, like a good competent player with hand cannons. They play so tight to cover, man. They will play so tight to cover, peek randomly, like in and out and pop shot, and they won't overcommit to, especially if they know you're using it. They're not going to overcommit to you because that's their win condition, is them putting in damage. Even if they're not going to finish your kill, it's them putting in damage, backing you off, putting pressure on you, and letting a teammate clean up that kill. And that's why hand cannons are great at, and that's why they continue to be the best. I think the only way that auto rifles will ever beat hand cannons is if we see something as oppressive as the hard light or the 600 like gnawing hungers, in that meta. Where even then you could argue they did, like, hand cannons still did that job well against them. But again, like it was just, I think that time with auto rifles was just too much, right? But we're never going to be there with auto rifles again, at least I hope. And if this is the gun that's going to represent, like, kind of like a strong, good auto rifle, I think it's kind of fine where it is, other than, again, I would take down some range. And I resonate with what Cool Guy said. I don't think you take down the stability or the stability of the gun, or like kind of how it feels currently, because before it was a 390 RP or 360 RPM that relied on hitting, headshots so much versus TTK, but you could barely do it because the sights just literally bounced everywhere. It felt awful. It felt so inconsistent. It was inaccurate. It was terrible. And now it feels quite good. I'd say just tone the range back a little bit.
Fair enough.
So now let's circle back to its rarity, right? Does
Sure,
it need
yeah.
a nerf considering its rarity, or nerf the rarity, if that makes sense, to make it easier to obtain? I'm okay with it even being deterministic at a certain point, like complete raid challenges, you get it. Like Master Vogue guarantees it or something.
I think that would
cool
be
with that.
fine after maybe like a period of time. You know what I mean? Like,
Mm-hmm.
like after X months, or after X number of runs. I don't really know what the algorithm is. I think Bungie has mentioned in the past that you have like an increasing chance the more you play.
Yeah,
Does anyone
till
remember
it's
that from
100%,
Deepstone?
yeah.
Yeah, from Deepstone. I don't know what those numbers are, but I feel like on the tail end, you should really start to crank up those numbers. Like, I don't think anybody out there should have like 50 clears or something of like VOG without. I don't know.
You want to pull a Riot and Last Wish and do 100 runs to get your.
Yeah, he did a ton. Like,
that's not an exaggeration. 100 runs.
Yeah, he did 100 runs before he got what was it, the 1K?
The 1K. Yep.
Yeah, God love him. But yeah, I would do that. I would improve the odds of getting it until at some point, like when you hit X number of completions, it just becomes guaranteed or something like that. I don't know.
That you can make it a guaranteed drop on a flawless raid completion, right? So like if you were able to run Mythoclast, not your whole fire team, but like you specifically, you know, it would have a chance to drop no matter what, right? But it would be a guaranteed drop with like an ornament or something to make it special, right? So that way you could give people, instead of, you know, if you've run the raid 50 times, you're probably going to be able to do it flawless one of those times. I feel like you'd give them a guaranteed thing that they could work towards, like a challenge. But at the same time, they might just get it randomly before that when they're just running it for fun. So even if you die, you're not going to like quit out of the raid and be like, fuck this. If you die, you're just going to be like, well, darn it. And you're going to try to finish it anyways and hopefully get the drop.
Right.
So, you know, it's to the player, right? I mean, and I do honestly feel like if you don't have the weapon, it's going to feel more impressive, right? And I've used it a lot, so when I see it, I know what to do against it. I know some of its limitations, and you can expose that. But it's to the player as far as feeling if it's overpowered or not. Like, to me, I think a way worse issue is the driver, dude.
Oh, he said it. I didn't want to bring it up immediately.
I said it, man. I said it. I mean, I play controller here. It's a fun gun, man. Dude, I played, like, all right, so I've been doing a lot of YouTube stuff, so I circled back to it last night. First game, I got a wee ran with it, right? And I was hip firing people from like 15 meters, like just trying to get away, shooting shots I was landing. It feels like old school Herbalist, right? So, like, and I do think Trials Weekend, that's going to be a top 5 weapon.
I would, especially on console.
Especially on console. Top 3 on console.
Console, I'd bet top 3 for the driver. Yeah.
I think Vex will be there too. Not because I just think because it's a hot weapon, and if you don't know how to play against it, or if you're not using your cover correctly, and people run you down, if it's like an endless veil, maybe a smaller map, maybe Anomaly, the Vex could tear that up.
That's quite the segue, because I had some heated opinions on Lawrence.
Well, that's a great transition, because I was going to say, why don't we talk about some of the new weapons in Season 15, and top of my list was the brand new exotic linear fusion rifle for Lawrence driver.
And I don't say this to be, well, maybe to be a little meaty, but like it feels like the easiest weapon I've ever used in the game. Dude, it does, man. It is like it's
okay. So we started the podcast off saying something like, "Oh man, this new season's feeling great," and the in parentheses is except for Lawrence driver. Like, that's
perfect meta. Except for you.
Yeah, Sandbox is looking good. Except that one.
Except for that one.
It doesn't make any sense consistent wise with the nerfs they did to Arbalest in the past to then have an even better linear fusion come out.
Yeah. I don't know.
With extra effects, it blows my mind, but
it's
I'm
fun
not
though.
seeing it as much lately. But when I do, it immediately I want to go to orbit and just not even deal with it.
What do you think, Drew? I see you pondering over there, mad scientist.
I hate it. I hate it. I hate it so much. I wanted to clarify something on a serious note, though, because there's a lot of people saying that, you know, but the stats, it's so similar to Arbalest. Correct me if I'm wrong here. I need clarification from the group. Perhaps I'll provide clarification to a lot of people.
Sure.
Arbalest specifically had its aim assist tuned independent of the stat, right? Like the stat
that is
didn't change.
A great question. I think you're right about that. Yeah, they specifically went in to tinker with that gun manually. I think you're right, Drew.
So effectively, if this gun was not made with the changes that Arbalest got, it's just Arbalest again.
Yeah, and not only is it Arbalest, it has extra fun little toys too, like that little vacuum suck factor for the void boom boom. Like it's
wall hacks on day one.
I did the Powerpuff Girls meme, whatever. Like, you know, the ingredients at one point. It's like OEM, RNG, dust field blades, Arbalest,
chemical X.
Yeah, I'm just like, there it is, the greatest hits. Everything I think I hate.
That's great.
Yeah, it's terrible. I hate it. I'm glad it got addressed quickly though, but there's still so much wrong with it, I think.
Oh,
Merc,
on
you get-
that note, yeah, let's give them the gold star there. The wall hacks got adjusted quickly, and Radiant Dance Machines also hit the dust pretty quickly.
Good
Which is
lord.
like, I want to see more of that from
Amazing.
Bungie. That is huge,
Yep.
and that is part of the reason the season is really good to me.
First
we
of
need
all,
Hawkmoon to go away. Is that the next thing that has to be neutered?
Hawkmoon?
Yeah.
I actually haven't been one
Yeah.
shot by that.
Have you? I had a
Oh,
kid
that
do it during a
whole
game
is
I
that the
have.
thing that Benj
Yeah,
was
like 7
sharing
or 8
around?
one-shot
The...
Yeah.
kills in a row.
Oh
Yeah.
god damn that, man. Benj, you beautiful bastard. I
What are
hate
your
you. Go on.
Merc, voice of reason on the driver? What do you think, man?
I mean, I think it has the same issues that all you guys mentioned. I don't think it's quite as big of a problem. Maybe because I'm playing on console and like it is no more popular on console than Vex Mythoclast is, right? And with the changes that have come to special ammo, it's significantly harder to main it. I think there's a couple of things. Number one, it's new. The catalyst requires you to use it in PvP, so you have a lot of people using it. You have super cheap mods for linear fusions this season, right?
Yeah.
Which
Yep.
makes it even easier to use. You can run double
Mhm.
targeting on it, right? Which definitely helps. And you can run a scavenger that pairs with the fusion rifle scavenger. I think the aim assist is too high, but if you had me name a precision weapon in Destiny that I didn't think the aim assist was too high on, I wouldn't be able to do it, right? Like I think aim assist across the board is too high. I think it goes through flinch too easily. I
That's
don't think it like
mine.
I don't think it needs to be like shuttered into the ground. I think the biggest problem with it, honestly, is that it's just a flat out a better arbalist in every way. And it's like, I'm not sure what the balance goal was when you're like, hey, here's arbalist, and it's like right here, and it's like a top 50 gun in PvP, right? After the nerf. Let's take everything arbalist does and make it just much, much better. And of course, arbalist now might as well not exist in the game. And Lorentz Driver is now a top 10 gun. So it's like, to me, it was kind of obvious where it was going to go. I don't think it needs to be just fucking destroyed. I think if you just took the aim assist down and made it take flinch worse, like if those are the only two things you did to it, I think it'd probably be fine.
Make it take what the snipers do. They need to put that multiplier on it.
Yeah, well, the zoom is so low, right, that all it ever really feels like it does is just like flinches right to the head. Like every single time you get shot, just like flinches straight to the head, which is super frustrating to fight against. But at the same time, it's like Arbalist went from being relatively well used because of the aim assist. The only thing they touched on it was an aim assist nerf, and it fell out of the top 10, out of the top 20, out of the top 30, out of the top 40, down to 50, right?
Yeah.
So if we're being fair here, and I know we just hate linear fusion rifles because they're annoying to play against, but if we're being fair here, like it probably needed something to make it like more fun to use, and that's the wrench driver. It has the little black hole effect. Like, correct me if I'm wrong, but the actual effect of the wrench driver, the bad suck, is like
awesome.
really cool and neat and fun. And
oh,
like,
it's fun. Yeah, sure.
yeah. And I think if it didn't have the aim assist and it didn't have the flinch issues, I don't think there'd be so much complaining about it. And if that's the only thing that gets touched, fine. But I'm concerned that with all the outcry about it, they're gonna brutalize it and it's gonna fall out of the top 50. And it's gonna be like Dead Man's Tale, or it's gonna be like Bastion, or it's gonna be like Hardlight, or it's gonna be like Lawrence Driver. It's gonna be like every one of these strong exotics that's not a hand cannon gets these nerfs and just like rockets down the usage, and we never see them. And now look at the top 10 outside of Lawrence Driver: Thorn, Last Word, Ace of Spades, Chaperone.
Right.
Come on, guys. You can't, every time we have something come into the top 10 that's not a hand cannon, we can't just fucking neuter it and be like, destroy it. You know what I'm saying? I know I'm preaching to the choir here because, we are who we are, but I'm saying that to like the community at large. Like, even when auto rifles were their most oppressive ever, they still weren't even the most used gun in the Crucible for primaries. Like, hand cannons were still used more than them. So we have to take things with a grain of salt, where it's like, this is the worst thing ever. It has like 1.3% usage.
Yeah, I'm surprised I don't see more Desperado Messengers, man. Really?
As much as I hate the linear fusions, it's like my hate purely comes from the aim assist. There's something especially triggering that, like, I'm like, okay, this is assuming that Lorentz Driver did not come with whatever custom tuning happened to Arbalest, right? Like, after the fact, assuming that it's just like, we put this heavy weapon in the kinetic slot or whatever energy slot. There's something that feels irritating about that, man. Like, of course, I'm a lot more understanding to when, like, I put 2 hand cannon shots into a linear fusion user that picked it up off heavy and then domes me. I'm like, okay, fine, you picked up heavy ammo, great. It's supposed to feel strong. You have heavy weapons to compare to. But when that's just sitting there in your energy slot or whatever it is, like, I'm like, dude, really? Like that's the frustration for me. So I don't care about the rest of the gun. Like, like let it be fun, let it be cool, wacky, all the rest, damage buff, whatever, right? For me, it's the aim assist. That feels like you're putting a heavy weapon aim assist in the energy slot. Right? That's all I care about.
Gun wise, that's
I would agree.
In my opinion, the biggest problem that Destiny 2 has is that hand cannons, crazy amounts of aim assist. Slug shotguns, crazy amounts of aim assist. Snipers, crazy amounts of aim assist, depending on what scope you're using now. Linear fusion rifles, crazy amounts of aim assist. Like even bows, like I'm a Le Monarch, main at this point myself. Crazy amounts of aim assist. I'm not blind to the fact. Like
that's a good bow.
Every precision weapon in Destiny has insane amounts of aim assist, and it's part of what goes into the formula of making the guns feel good. But I think we have surpassed, like, they all have more aim assist than they did in D1 even. I think we have surpassed the point of, like, we have an abnormal amount of aim assist. We could roll that back a little bit, and a lot of these issues that people are having with various guns just across the board, like, do it to every single precision weapon. I don't even care. I'll take that hit. Maybe except for scout rifles, because scout rifles kind of, they maybe need all the help they can get. But just drop the aim assist 10% across the board or something. I'm not even talking about the reticle friction, like just the auto aim portion of it, just the bullet magnetism portion of it. Like, please, for the love of God,
I kind of like that idea.
Hit headshots and stop allowing people to shoot the chest and get a crit, or shoot a meter to the left of the head and get a crit. Like it's just really frustrating when you see a sniper bullet fly past your head and it counts as a dome and it's like network latency, blah 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 blah. But it's like, come on, I know that guy missed me. Like,
I'm totally right there with you. I too feel that for your previous point where it's like, damn dude, a little variety would be cool. And then like every time we get a fun new toy on the block, it's like, god damn, like we might need to tone it down. But
I still think Lorenz was too much. I
still think that
like,
because even though I want
minigame,
variety in the game, like I just know that when I'm playing Trials over this weekend, like some dude is gonna be like, oh come on, like you hit that headshot. Like for real though, I'm expecting to see a lot of driver in 3v3, specifically in Trials. I'm expecting to see a lot of it.
So it seems like Lorenz has that little mini game of collecting the telemetry. I think that's what they call it.
Yet?
Yeah.
And then it turns it into a powered up gun. I almost feel like the way it should have been is the way that it feels right now at base. That should have been the strengthened state of collecting the telemetries in PvP. It's like Arbalist when you don't have the telemetries, and it's like Lorenz now when you do have the telemetries. I think that would have been fair because you're not going to see it that often in PvP because it's harder to proc in the first place.
Dude, you can
How
start
many does
bodying
it
people.
take?
3. Takes 3.
3?
Yep.
So it takes 3 kills to get it?
It takes 3 and it has like a 28-30 second timer. And once
you
you
can
get a kill,
refresh it every time.
It keeps dropping those that you go pick them up. So you could be at 2 seconds. It'll go right back up to 28 or 30. And they're body shots, dude. You can just body shot and go pick it up.
So this is a bit irrelevant, but I was just wondering that because I haven't really used it much personally. I'm not really interested. I've just gone against it. But if it takes 3 kills, then I think the Vex should also take 3 kills to get its linear fusion mode. I just wasn't sure if like, oh, maybe they're keeping at this at 2 because of Trials and it'd keep it relevant. But if that's 3, then yeah. Anyways, irrelevant. But I thought I'd ask.
Go ahead and treat yourself this weekend, Drew. Just throw it on.
Saving myself
kick your feet
for
up, dude.
saving the Lorenz for Trials, of course.
Yeah, for a special occasion.
I'll say if you jump something up to requiring 3 kills, I would imagine the amount of people who are capable of achieving that drops like exponentially. You know, like if you look at the average player's KD in the game, which the bell curve actually does center right around 1, which is kind of nice, right? So if you look at the average player's KD in the game, you know, asking the average player to get 3, which is might be a good thing, it might be fine, but I'm saying this is probably the type of thinking that they're doing in their head when they're saying like, how many kills do we want to take to activate something? Most players are not capable of getting 3 kills in a life with any type of consistency, I would imagine. And so for Lorenz, they were probably like, well, it's super OP when you get this thing, so like we should make it to where very rarely can players do this. But with Vex, because it was a raid thing, they were probably like, if we make it take 3 kills, like 97% of players in PvP are never going to see this perk activate at all. Which may be fine for balance wise, but for motivation to get people, that's probably what they were thinking on that.
And the person has to be marked too, right? Don't they have to be marked?
Yeah, they're highlighted now.
It's not just 3 kills on random people, it's 3 kills on a highlighted target.
Right.
A little droid beeps at you and stuff when it sees a highlighted one.
Yeah, you don't get the wall hacks, but they light up red, even if it's stowed.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, even if it's stowed, that's correct. Yeah.
I hear that charge up sound in my sleep, man. It sounds like a squeak. It's the penguin from Toy Story.
Well, aside from the our new best friend, the driver, we have a whole handful of other really interesting legendary weapons. Some old, some new. Are there any standouts that you guys want to make a particular mention of? Any that you're really enjoying?
I just want to complain about Lorenz, but yeah.
I was worried about stasis perks, but Headstone kind of proved to me that they can be okay, and they can be good and
great fun.
Yeah,
we can go either back and forth between weapons and perks, or we can just do one on the other. But if you want to talk about Headstone now, I'm glad to talk about Headstone.
Yeah,
now.
let's talk about Headstone.
Let's talk about Headstone.
What's nice about something like that, and it's that vision of just tying everything together. They're doing it with Void 3.0. And I really hope that they can start tying things like this, because it is fun. I mean, you can go into PvE. Essentially, it's like a stasis dragonfly, because it can spawn up on other enemies. Then it'll explode. Then they have fissures, so you can get more kills. You can create cover instantly, not needing a glacier grenade, so you can use your resist, your rhyme. Same thing in the Crucible. Same exact thing. And it's very, what's what I'm looking for? Like, it flows well.
Dope.
And it's not necessarily overpowered. Like, I really don't think that it's on that level at all. It's unique, and it's added to a build. And it's done by a weapon to a subclass. I think that's really cool.
Yeah, I wanted to check with Drew. I've been saying that a lot lately about Headstone, because Drew, are you still a Revenant main?
I have not been playing Revenant quite as much recently.
Really?
Graviton Forfeit, baby.
I am shocked. What are you playing now?
Shocked myself. I'm meaning. It blows my mind that I'm about to say this, but Top Tree Night Stalker. After talking copious amounts of crap about it on this podcast.
Really?
Yep. With a Graviton Forfeit. Yep, with the new buffs.
That Graviton, man. We knew we wanted to keep an eye on that bad boy back in season 14 when they talked about the upcoming buffs. Well, that's interesting. Yeah, I was thinking that Headstone when I read the description of the perk. I was like, oh, Drew's got to be doing backflips, because I know all the fun plays that you make with like Whisper of Chains and all that stuff. But
yeah.
But all right, let's I mean, if you don't know the perk Headstone, you get a headshot kill. You make and I thought the crystal would be tiny. You know, like the buffed hunter Duskfield with that little rinky-dink crystal on the floor. I thought it would be like that. No, it's like a full mass, like 6 to midnight glacier spike coming out of the ground, like 8 feet tall. Pretty good. But yeah, we're just jumping around. I don't really care. Drew, tell me about the Graviton. Why are you turned on to it right now?
Well, right now, our kind of team dynamic, we've been thinking, it started with me a while ago, throwing a fit and saying, I hate radar. I'm putting on, where's me jesters? Start playing Gemini jesters again, because when I got so fed up with like, how linear I feel radar makes the game feel sometimes. So I started using that, and it started like being like pretty good, and like people started noticing like, wow, that's like actually really helping us make flanks, like our coordination. It's giving us like something that doesn't feel quite like a 50-50 to make a push. So that went well, and then we started to think of like what's a team dynamic that we can play to this like win condition, if you will. Myself, Cam, Glow, Wormy, and Sides are like main 5 that kind of like are interchangeable, and that essentially led to, well, the other radar manipulating option is Night Stalker. I'm like, well, this class is pretty bad. I've, again, talked an immeasurable amount of crap about it, but I'm going to try it because I'm usually the sniper player on our team, and these guys are typically the shotgunners, and Gemini Jesters just lends itself a little bit better to shotgunning. So I'm like, okay, Gemini Jester Graviton Forfeit just got a buff. Might as well try it. And I tried it, and I was like, wow, this is amazing. Like, this is exactly what I wanted. And it's mainly for me because of that extended camo duration or invis duration. Sorry, my old Halo lingo.
Right.
The invis, I always felt like the invis on that class was just like it lasted no time at all. It was never,
Yeah.
it's not meaningful enough to actually make flanks. Like you get 5 seconds and sorry, I should add as well, there was a change where they added a counter, like a timer to it, which helps a lot, like actually
Oh,
like,
so now you can manage the
Yeah.
time of your. Oh, I didn't know
yes.
that. That's actually very helpful.
Yeah, it's really great. They added it to combination blow on the arc strider as well. Like things that just felt like so like, oh, I gotta use it. I gotta use the heck out of it before it like runs out because you don't know when it's running out. Now you can actually manage that. So that's part of it. But yeah, so just adding on the extra few seconds that it adds on, I believe it's 1 or 2 seconds, which sounds very little, but goes a long way because you're able to use it so preemptively while they have like you're not even on their radar yet, or you're like
Mhm.
around your team, and then you can usually I've made an incredible amount of like full flanks at this point, and just opened up opportunities for my team to completely collapse when the other team has no idea and no anticipation of it, rather than just having to sit there and be like, all right, let's trade sniper shots and see who hits because we're all staring at the radar. So it's been really great. That's been my highlight, is that it actually makes the invisibility, possible to make flanks. And when you combine that with the new stasis mods on the class item, which is utility kickstart, you're getting a 9-second dodge roughly at 10 mobility, which is
So you're
invis
only
in 7
2
seconds.
seconds away from the next forfeit dodge. I was gonna ask you, are you a
Huh.
perpetuation user, utility, or are you bomber?
I am full utility. So I'm running right now, I'm looking at it. Yeah, double utility, and I have high energy fire there. Obviously, I can slot that up for anything. And then powerful friends, 10 mobility. I'm at 9 recovery, but I'm feeling like decently comfortable bringing it down to 8, especially what you showed in your video.
Yeah.
But yeah.
To paint the picture, I really gotta say the Geminis are fun. What'll happen is they'll lose the radar from the shotgun distance, and then the invis will set up a flank while that's happening, throw a trick smoke or something. And by the time radar is back online for them, they can't really trust their radar. So even if the invis messes up and pings, they don't know that. It's pretty funny to see everybody scramble, and it's effective enough that we started seeing teams just throw on Geminis and take off the Stompies and try to do it back to us. And we're just like, yeah, we played season 3 comp. We're just gonna call out. Communication check, my boys.
Yeah,
It was
it's been
fun.
really fun to do that.
What you were
I don't
talking
think
about
that.
with the invis flank, you can do something similar with Frosties as well with double kickstart or whatever, because when you dodge, it increases your sprint speed, and when you sprint, it increases your recharge. And if you use the double kickstarts and you're sprinting during it, you can top it off in almost the same amount of time. I think it's right around the same thing. And you don't stay as invisible as long, but you cover more distance because you're sprinting faster while you're invisible. So that's also another way to do it too, because I feel like Frosty gives you a little bit more utility outside of just the invis portion of it. So I've kind of been swapping back and forth, and I feel like it's pretty similar, but sometimes I like the Frosties just a bit more, depending on what I'm running.
It really depends, I find. So we were kind of tinkering with the idea of like, okay, this got a buff, but is 6 Coyote better than this? Is Frosty's better than this? We landed still on Graviton because it obviously Frosty's also recharges your nade ping, your fake ping, with a smoke grenade. But for us, it was that we felt we needed that significant long stride of invis because against competent players, like they see like one blip and they're like dive. So like it gives you like a better like I think in 6s, like you're definitely fine. Like that's probably overall better. But in 3s, when you're like going for breaks, we just found that like, or at least we thought that like, okay, we're gonna Gemini, we're gonna ping when we Gemini so that they get a fake ping as soon as the radar comes back. The Gemini is gonna cover the other player's Gemini is gonna cover my sniper flank's initial ping when I start the sprint, and then I won't appear anymore. And then I need that long stride because if I even remotely appear on the radar, they're gonna be like, all right, that guy's alone, dive him. So that was our thought process.
How's that melee recharge as you're on your flank? I mean, because that's another thing too. I mean, you're getting more melees, you're getting more smokes.
It's been good. It's noticeable. I mean, my build, not by any particular choice. I guess it's just because I really don't know what else to invest in. Has 7 strength with,
good.
I think that's with Radiant Light. So that combined with even just the base forfeit is pretty good. And like obviously when I'm around enemies, I'm just like getting it back immediately.
Yeah.
And it's like so good to just be able to like get out of sticky scenarios. There's times where I'm like, there's so many times right now where I'll just throw it, like someone's chasing me or like trying to find me, and I'll just throw the fake ping at my feet or like on a wall, and I'll just keep running, and they'll just be held up at that wall, and I'm like way out of there. It's really funny.
Classic.
Good plays.
Man, we're just jumping around, but I'm totally fine with it. Sheesh, what else do we have? I've heard a lot of people talking about the peace bond. Does anyone the new sidearm? Does anyone have any thoughts on that? I know we don't have True Vanguard here at the table, but figured I'd check any local sidearm users if you want to weigh in.
Not even a sidearm user, just is really good.
It's a great
I
weapon.
think it's one of the best feeling sidearms that we've gotten in quite some time. I don't know if there's something different about it, but the range that it feels like it has, the useful range just feels like it's a lot longer than I'm used to with sidearms. Maybe I just haven't been playing sidearms enough, but it's got great perks and great lethality, especially damage boosted, and it's a ton of fun to play with. I have one with Harmony, and Harmony also, by the way, is an awesome perk.
I love that perk. That might be my new favorite perk introduced in season 15. I don't mean to cut you off.
For clarity, Harmony is get a kill with another weapon.
With another weapon.
Okay.
And swap to it and get a 20% damage boost for 7 seconds, and you get a handling boost to go along with it.
Handling and damage boosts. So if you have like any other weapon, which like I find it so easy to activate because what's that new hand cannon? The Vorpacula. That 180 RPM hand cannon I'm talking about. Yeah, the old Vulpecker there. Yeah, easy to take advantage of Harmony there, because if you pair it with something like, I don't know, shotgun, fusion rifle, whatever, you just run in like you normally do. You just ape in like a filthy W key holding jabroni, and you get a free kill with a shotgun. And it's like, well, great. Now I have and it's more than, like, technically, if you want to get really technical, longer than 7 seconds, because there's a 3-second swap to the weapon activation window. So you can get the kill with a shotgun. You can wait like 2 seconds, then change to your hand cannon or whatever weapon you have with Harmony. And now you have that full 7 seconds to take advantage of both handling and a 20% damage buff, which is really cool.
Like Master of Arms.
Yes, it is like that, cool guy. It's a great perk. I feel like most people are going to look over it for other perks in the damage department, but I really enjoy it. I actually have a bone to pick. I really want to hear your guys' opinion on this. But I have a bone to pick with Adagio. Does anyone have, like, am I taking crazy pills? Like, I have a couple friends who are really in on Adagio. I mean, cool guy, you know, our friend Paul. Like, he just every
That's the best in the game.
God, I love that guy. He's so optimistic. He's like more than glass half full. He's like, glass is always 110%, baby. Like, so he loves Adagio. But my bone to pick is, cool, okay, it gives you more damage, but it also hurts your rate of fire. It's like, why? Okay, so yeah, there are situations where it can help you for sure, but take a 140 RPM hand cannon, for example, right? So 3 headshots to kill on a normal 140, right? Now you have Adagio. You have the damage perk activated. Now you're turning it, still, it takes 3 trigger pulls. Yeah, it's easier to achieve that 3-shot kill because now you only need 1 head, 2 body. And if it were just that would be great. But you're also slowing down the rate of fire. So in theory, on paper, if you went up against someone who is relatively accurate, and as we've talked on the show, like Merc, I think you would agree, there's a lot of aim assist going on, especially with hand cannons. It's not tremendously difficult to miss 3 headshots on a 140 RPM, especially something like the Adept Palindrome. You're going to lose. So I do think that, I don't think Adagio is a bad perk. I just feel like I hear a lot of people beating their chests about it when I think it's very situational, depending on your loadout and depending on the gun that it's dropped on. Do you know what I mean? Like, I would rank it higher on some weapons and lower on others. Cool guy, what do you got for me?
I have 2 extremes here. All right, so let's, like, I'm gonna Adagio. After defeating a target, the weapon fires, charges, or draws more slowly, but it deals increased damage for that brief time. So the worst scenario, dude. Like I think I'm gonna talk about it in a video. But dude, I have the fusion rifle,
Okay.
the Iota
Sure.
Draconis. It's got Adagio under pressure, but it also has liquid coil, so it has a 1 second charge time, dude. And after I get a kill, dude, it's like I could do my taxes before this thing goes off. It's like a 1.3 second, dude. It lasts forever.
I've let go of the trigger before because I thought it was done charging, and it was like still charging at that point in time. It's really
like I was where was I? I was doing altar, dude, and like the nightmares would come out. And, like I had the Adagio perk, and it was just painful watching. But on the reverse end, I do think that the best weapon, and I have it, it's the bow. It's a combination. So the bow, I have Adagio, but I also have Impulse Amplifier. That's its other perk. So massively increases the velocity and increases the reload speed. So even though this is taking away a draw time, the Impulse is helping it.
Yeah.
Yeah,
right,
so I think that's like the best pound for pound combination for it currently, right? So like I use the stag a lot. So what's nice about this is that once I get a kill, it does like 171 regular. If I'm standing in the Imp Rift, once Adagio is up, it's 223s. It's one shots with the bow for that duration. It just keeps going. It's like a longer extended like Rampage or Harmony, right? 7 seconds, whatever. But it can be good, very weapon specific.
That's what I wanted to talk about. That like I don't think it's bad. It's just that like I think it's very particular. Like if you have it on the 180 RPM hand cannon, you can turn it from a 4-shot kill into a 3-shot kill, which is really cool. But like again, you just have to be careful about hurting your rate of fire. But I still think it doesn't. A lot of people, I haven't analyzed the footage like frame by frame. I plan on doing that probably tomorrow. But I don't think it takes the hand cannon from like a 180. Like I don't think it just elevates it to the next archetype. I think it's more like it's the 180 RPM. Yeah, it's a percentage. So like the 180 RPM hand cannon with Adagio activated doesn't turn into a 140. I think it turns into like a 160 or something like that. I don't know. I really have to check the footage, but yeah.
At what cost? I mean, at that point,
why not
be
just
looking
roll
for MKC or kill clip, right?
That's what I'm talking about. Like it's just very particular what it could be good on. Something that I actually have it on the what is the name of that damn gun? The Fractithist, the shotgun. I happen to think that's a great perk for a shotgun because I'm not necessarily heavily invested in the rate of fire. Now, I know we all put viability on assault mag because even helping the rate of fire a little bit can help you out of a tight situation in a double kill or triple kill or something like that. But depending on how many people are rushing you at that moment, I don't always necessarily need the max rate of fire on a shotgun. And if you get a kill with Fractithist, activate Adagio, you get that 20% damage buff. I think it's 25% for other weapons, but for bows and shotguns, 20%. And the extra damage on that shotty, that can help push your one-hit kill range. Like it can make it a little bit more consistent, right? Because you're getting that extra damage per pellet.
I think it's sliding.
It's true, cool guy. But yeah, I think it's a fine perk for certain weapons. I just think that people have to be careful about going all in on Adagio because other perks can also give you damage, but they don't hurt your rate of fire.
I'll just keep it in mind for the future. It's archetype specific on if I care about it.
That I would agree with that.
I will say on the fusion rifle, it does like crank the damage so far up that you can 3-bolt at just ridiculous ranges, right? Like it almost is a bummer because it's like, damn, this is kind of how I thought high impacts were going to feel when they got this bolts nerf but a damage buff. I was like, oh cool, well I'm going to be able to like 3-bolt like a sniper, and the trade-off is going to be that I have to be more accurate and I have a much longer charge time. With Adagio active, it feels like how I thought they were going to feel. Like I'm like mapping people with these 3-bolts with a long charge time. It's way too much charge time. It is to the point where it is almost unusable because someone could kill you twice over with a primary and how long it takes you to charge the fusion rifle.
Meanwhile, the rapid fires are showing up. The rapid fires are good.
I don't know what the catalyst is gonna be, because if you look at the usage numbers, there's only one legendary fusion rifle in the top 100, and it's Null Composure. Exile's Curse fell out, Glacioclasm fell out, Plug 1 fell out. The only one that's left
Plug
is Null
1 fell out of the
Composure.
top 100?
Yeah.
Oh, that's a shame. I was rocking it the other day. It felt really fun.
Yeah, so I'm not entirely sure what the catalyst is going to be, and like it's not even like high up in the top 100 too. Like for example, Surus Regime is higher than it by ultimate.
Hey,
0.5% usage rate. So personally, I've seen really good players absolutely dominating with rapid fires. I don't know if it's going to be one of those guns that's like really effective in the right hands. But bad players are like really horrible with it. I actually feel like rapid fires got hit the worst by the slide nerf. Because their charge time is so fast that like there's a lot of sliding and trying to shoot at the same time going on, and you'll
That
just be
does happen, yeah.
like straight vertical with a rapid fire if you're forgetting that you're gonna get a stability nerf, or you get shot while it's happening because you have a stability nerf and a flinch nerf, and you're sliding, and it already has 9 bolts. So it's like if you get shot while you're sliding with a rapid fire, you're like pointed straight at the sky, which is unfortunate. But yeah, I mean they're really strong. It feels like a Lord of Wolves just with like a tiny like half-second charge time, but I just don't see a ton of people using them.
did you say it was Adagio 25% for primaries?
25% for everything except for bows and shotguns, which are 20%.
So to me, like that sounds perfect for a lightweight scout. Perfect. Because you're gonna have the lightweight frame. It's gonna be like, just think Mida, right?
Sure.
Think Mida. Of course, Mida moves a little bit quicker, but once that perk procs, it's become a 3-tap at the 180, right? So it should be like the 0.67. Like, so to me, that sounds pretty good.
Yeah.
I think it's going to have some unique build crafting opportunities with things like Mantle of Battle Harmony and the Firewalker boot. What are they called? The ones that stop you from being frozen.
The Titan boots. I can't remember what they're called either. I'll look it up real quick. The Titan boots. The Path of Burning Steps.
Path of the Burning Steps. Yes. Okay. So keep Adagio in the back of your head. Anytime you're using Path of Burning Steps or something, and you're just barely off that 2-tap from a 3-tap hand cannon, if that makes sense. Adagio might be that perfect amount of damage to tip it to a perfect 2-tap with those builds.
Yep.
I am now thinking of Path of Burning Steps and Vex Mythoclast. And
oh, yeah, it works.
That might be an interesting combo. But I digress. I'm easily distracted.
Or you can use it with Precious Scars on a Solar Titan. For that health.
yeah, or Vex Mythoclast, though.
Yeah.
Oh, gosh, what else do we have here?
I'm just excited to bring Dead Man's Tale on Stadia to console.
Cammy, are we playing this weekend?
I might make the time for that. That sounds way too much fun.
Yeah, I would like to play on Friday if possible. After my Zur video.
To me, this season, my favorite thing so far, I have been really busy. I've been making content. I haven't done the seasonal activity yet, which sucks.
Oh, you haven't at all?
I've been working on YouTube stuff, man.
Oh, you're missing out, man. It takes you to the blind well.
But I've been, it's kind of made me appreciate it, man, because I really like the changes to the light subs, man. Bottom Storm feels good. So does Top Arcstriders. It's extended deadly reach. Bottom Dawnblade, dude. Bottom Dawnblade's fun, and like this is PvE and PvP. Like I really like those and some of the exotic buffs. It makes a lot of things relevant, and I really enjoy that.
Quick reminder that if you're listening at home, we do appreciate you, but we do record every other Wednesday live on Twitch, and I just can't help it. Like, we have little conversations before we fire up the podcast and go live. I'm reading in Twitch chat right now. Cool guy. I was looking forward to Precious Scars healing build, but it sucks. Lol. Didn't you have a comment or two on the Precious Scars, cool guy, before?
So I don't know how they did it, but I think that it's worse. So what I still have some more testing to do.
Sure.
But essentially, but here's the deal. It does have a place. So what Precious Scars does now is it gives a burst of healing when you get a kill matching a weapon of your subclass. So I was using the driver on a void because, whatever. But how it works is it doesn't necessarily give health. Like if you have health and get a kill, it does nothing. But if your teammates are around you, it could help. The only time it helps is if anyone's shields are broke. Because what it does is it immediately almost gets you to the revive point of your shields going into health. But then it relies on whatever your stat is. So if you have like 5 recovery, like pretty much it's so negligible. Like the perk could have said every time you get a kill, it takes away a little bit of your health. Like you wouldn't know because it doesn't work either way.
Wait, so
But
it's like
another
Mask
thing,
of the Quiet One, where it's just the health portion and not the shield?
no, this is just the shields. Like whenever your shields are broken, red health, and you get a kill, it'll
Yeah.
shoot it up to the bar getting into health. Like it'll shoot you to the end.
Yeah.
Okay,
And
got it.
that's also for your friends. So like where that could work are, I think it's attrition. That's the PvE modifier. We have to pick up the little pools to get your health. That's where it could be useful. One, but what I didn't like is I think something was changed. That's why I said it could be worse off. Because like the whole idea behind that exotic is to res people or die and get rezzed. When you get rezzed, you get a 50 overshield, 50 health. So if you have 200 health, you're gonna have 250 with the overshield. The exotic gives 100. So everyone gets 100 plus 50. So we're talking 350 total health. But what changed, and I don't like, because it's the whole point of the exotic, only the Titan gets that now. So like in PvP, once he reses someone, everyone gets the overshield. But on the Titan, you can't triple beat down, or you can't even hit him with a rapid fire headshot of a sniper. It'll do like with Rampage, it does 333, doesn't down him. But anybody that's revived, I think there's a bug. The people that are being revived aren't getting the 50 regular shield. They're just getting the 100 from the Titan. So they're only getting, I think it was...
And that 50 then. Got it.
Yeah. So like, I think something's off with it. Now...
Okay, I know exactly what this is.
Fair.
Back when I was farming Rhyme overshields on the Behemoth Titan, if say a 2-minute Grace Healer Warlock throws a healing grenade at you, your Rhyme overshield is overrided by the weaker overshield.
Yeah. But like before, like I said, you were a tank and getting people up. But not basically the people being rezzed are only getting 50 more shield instead of the 100 because it's taken one away. It's kind of weird.
Okay.
Then again, Trials is coming out. Trials is going to play different without 3-peaking and heavy stasis. When we did that card cam when Precious Scars came out, it was like unbearable. Like when I tried to rest someone, I just got Shadow Dove. Right? So it's a whole new world in Trials. It might be decent there. And it's also a Switch exotic. You could be running dunes. When you die, put on the helmet. I mean, I don't really like that.
They didn't change
people are
that
gonna
this
do
time
that.
around, but
I don't know.
Your
Yeah,
armor
like I said,
swapping?
I think it's actually kind of
The next
worse. I
one.
think it's actually kind of worse.
Fair. I just wanted to hear that because it made me laugh. But I do appreciate the breakdown. Yeah.
Yeah,
It's,
it's off the top of my head. Thanks.
of course.
No big deal.
I have not gotten my hands on it yet because I haven't stepped foot into the Prophecy Dungeon, which I think is going to be my project for
oh, that's where I'm camping
tomorrow.
right now.
Yeah,
Prophecy Hell.
I'm about to
Speaking of
camp up
Prophecy
there.
Dungeon,
Cammy, what's up?
man.
That's what I was about
Darkest
to talk
War
about.
Is
Like,
so good. Has like crept. It is.
Talk
It
to
has
me.
taken rapid fire pulse rifles from being like grid skipper to now very common. I think it's in like the top 15 now. So it's
top
like even
15.
surpassed.
Wow.
Yeah,
okay.
even surpassed Messenger and stuff like that, which is
Wow.
really insane. So yeah, it's pretty good. And
I
honestly,
got,
it doesn't
I got
even
the
have...
roll today on that.
What'd you
get?
What'd you get
Go
on? It? Yeah.
on.
All right, slide shot Rampage, high cal, arrowhead, range masterwork, baby. They
Slide
said heaven or
shot,
hell, and I said
Rampage,
yes.
High cal. Arrowhead.
So stupid.
What's the default recoil direction? Do we know?
64, I think.
In Cam, you said you got arrowhead.
So he's at 94. So
Damn,
it's
that's
perfect,
a hot
basically.
roll. That's a hot
I would
roll, Cam.
maybe say ricochet rounds over high cal, just because
But
high cal doesn't do a ton on it.
Yeah,
I
anymore,
don't have recoil on
That rate of
MK.
fire though.
But they both give. Well, Cammy's an M&K player. I mean, like,
Yeah, that's true.
for
that's true.
controller, I'd be like, yeah, ricochet. But
He's
for
beaming
M&K, I'd be
people with
like high
Rampage.
cal. Yeah, probably just beaming and flinching people like an
0.66 DK
ungodly
with that
amount.
Rampage, let's go.
Yeah,
I haven't used it yet. I'm actually going for the shotgun.
It's actually got I'm looking at it right now on light.gg. It's got a bunch of really good perks. Tunnel vision, surplus, slide shot, quick draw.
Also, if you get
Rampage.
elemental capacitor and you're running a stasis subclass, you can basically ignore recoil direction, because that's now the bonus that that stasis gives you is +20 to recoil direction. So it'll get you up to 84 on its own.
Oh, true.
That is pretty tight.
Tunnel vision is noticeable on that. I had a roll with full auto tunnel vision and tried it out for fun.
Yeah.
You know in the Fast and Furious where they hit the nitrous and then they're like, yeah, it's that
Totally,
for pulse
yeah.
rifles.
Yeah, basically
Damn.
maxes out. It gives you like Mida levels of aim assist if you have tunnel vision because it's already at 75. It already has really high aim assist.
75.
And
Yeah.
accuracy. Also gives
Yeah.
accuracy.
And accuracy.
It's not my number one pick on that, but if I have it, I'm not gonna say no. It's fun.
The only thing that sucks is there's not a like damage boosting. There's not multi kill clip or kill clip in the second slot. So it's like
That would
it's
be
nice to have, but it'd
frightening,
be
though.
really nice to have if you had kill clip or multi kill clip.
I mean, Rampage will probably. What is the? I'm gonna open up. There's this really great document that I use, you guys. It's called Massive Breakdown. I don't know if you guys have ever heard of that. It's really.
Oh, do tell.
Oh yeah, it's really dope document put together by
to see what the TTKs are with the
by
different damage boosters.
Yeah, some handsome no-sleeved nerd probably put it together.
Who would do that?
Darkest before optimal time to kill 0.80, not bad.
Rampage
And that's without
brings it to
Rampage.
0.73. And
0.73 with Rampage.
But if you had kill clip, it'd be 0.67.
Good God. Well, wait a minute. With Rampage, how much of the optimal time to kill relies on you hitting a headshot?
It's still a high amount. It's like 80. It's like 90%. It's like 7 and 1, I think. Now, granted, that's on 6 resilience, right? So here's what you actually want to look at. If you go to the far right of that spreadsheet, there's the accuracy adjusted kill, which tells you like what your easiest kill is going to be. So with one stack of Rampage, you
which
can kill
column is that?
So the far right. So there's the 2 time to kill columns. There's optimal and body shot. There's a 3rd time to kill column on the right, and that's the accuracy adjusted time to kill. So that gives you like your easiest to hit time to kill.
I must be looking at an old version.
What are you doing, man? Come on now.
Right next to the recommended shader section.
Hit me with the fresh version, bro.
Who
Come on.
are you?
No, it's
even?
No, Cammy, it's next to the tasteful
Quit
news,
holding out on me.
Yeah. Yeah. So if you find my new spreadsheet, which I guess I should probably put a link to it.
You probably should,
because
yeah.
we're doing it. But if you find my new spreadsheet, there's a section over on the far right which gives you an accuracy adjusted one. And so with Rampage, you can get a 0.8 second time to kill with 5 crits and 4 body shots, which is like baby frog kind of easy.
That's pretty good, dude.
So,
That's pretty forgiving. Yeah.
Yeah.
I didn't even want the darkest before. I wanted the shotgun. It has threat detector and surrounded, and so since I have Gemini jesters glued to me now, I thought it would be a good way to know how many people I'm going to proc jesters with.
Can't help but notice no one brought up the other Iron Banner weapon, Forge's Pledge.
Oh, it's an adaptive.
I saw your video on that, and I wish I didn't. But my vault space stinks.
I can't use it, man. But and I know a lot of people that actually kind of like it. I mean, and there's nothing wrong with it. I just it acts so differently.
Tell the viewers this is a good clickbait for your video. I promise you.
No,
this is like a number 7 will shock you. Like type reveal.
Yes, exactly.
I don't think that it brought for me as a player, right? I like pulses, man. I love pulses, but nothing about it brought anything to the table that I found beneficial. Nothing about it. So I just I'm gonna vault it. And
back in the day, if it had come out paired with Bygones, it would have been good. But it came out. A lot of other primaries have been buffed up past that point in time, and Bygones was strong for a period. But that 0.93 second TTK is it's struggling to cut it now in a world where you've got a bunch of other stuff that kills faster and kills easier.
Fair.
Yeah.
Okay, so prophecy weapons. The other one is the sniper rifle with a long walk. The frozen orbit analog 50 zoom. That one has ricochet rounds. You can hit those ricochet headshots randomly. Very fun. But it has a perk called overflow, which I completely overlooked. Now that the scavenger system has changed and the ammo economy in trials has changed, I think overflow and slide shot is going to come into play a lot, since if your teammate drops or you get a kill, you just fly over the ammo and immediately whip 180 with the snipe. So you can at least use the extra ammo you get, because if you backpack the ammo but can't reload it, then it's useless anyway.
Fair.
what else does that have on to pair?
For perks?
Oh,
It
snap.
has some interesting ones. It has ensemble too for handling with snapshot.
Oh, that's not bad. Yeah.
Ensemble's a nice passive.
Ensemble's good.
I wish Encore was a little bit better. I was like real excited when I read Encore first, and then I I think they like overcomplicated that perk. It's precision blows grant range, non-precision blows. If you have range granted, remove the range.
Right.
If you don't have range granted, they grant accuracy and stability.
Right.
Like, why do you do me like that? Why couldn't you just make it to where kills grant accuracy and stability and precision kills also grant range? It would be a top tier perk.
That would be god tier.
If
yeah,
that's what it did.
that would be crazy.
But
Yeah.
instead, now you've got me questioning, like, do I want to hit headshots? Because the range actually is like super minimal.
Yeah.
The range is like barely anything, but the accuracy and stability is pretty nice. So it's like you're telling me that you don't want me to hit headshots so that I can make my gun feel better.
It's a devil's bargain there, Merc. Like I've been literally trying out the perk Encore in sixes, and like there are literally situations where I'm like hesitating on the muscle memory headshot and being like, intentional body shot because he's not facing me and I'm already 2 shots up.
I remember
Game
having
on.
a similar conversation about Headseeker on the aggressive pulses, and Fallout like dumped on him. It's like, it's only a 2 damage increase. It doesn't do anything.
Well, it's Headseeker is
It's like you had to hit the first shot a body shot, then the remaining 3 headshots.
It's dependent on the. It's slightly beneficial on some and like not beneficial at all on others.
When they changed the high impact damage, it made it okay.
Yeah, I agree.
Before, I remember,
Agreed.
I mean, they were doing like low 20s, mid 20s. I mean,
like
yeah,
that,
it didn't
yeah.
help. But talking about that particular perk,
Mhm.
I'm so glad that Bungie brought that back, because what's the D1 weapon that did something similar? The perk was called One Way or the Other.
I can't remember.
It was the Boolean Gemini.
Boolean Gemini, yeah.
When you got a headshot, you got increased recovery. When you got a body shot, you got increased resilience.
Oh, if they bring that back, I already know my thumbnail.
So, like, and I always thought the Boolean Gemini was made for D2 because it came the later cycle in D1, because in D2 that would work well. Like, the system is made for it. In D1, the system wasn't made for the increased res or mobility. Like, it's just kind of negligible. D2 would work, but I hope that they use that system for other things. It could be increased handling. If you get a headshot, you get increased handling. If you get a body shot, you get increased reload. Whatever it is. Like, I love that system.
Yeah, very neat.
Yeah. I'm looking at right now as we're talking. I'm looking at other weapons for trials that are being brought back with slightly updated loot pools.
Yo, that Shiro's Wrath though.
Are you looking?
Oh,
yeah,
yeah.
I'm looking at Shiro's
Yeah,
Wrath
did you see
too.
what that got?
Take a look at this.
They.
All right, Drew, hit him with it.
Yeah. Tell him, Drew.
Oh, it's got a lot of good combos, but it does have
Yeah.
the strafe combo.
Mhm.
Oh,
The ankle
I believe-
breaker.
Yeah, the built-in peacekeepers type effect of elemental capacitor, and what was the other one? Killing wind,
Killing wind. Yeah.
which is
That
pretty sick. Like, that's
pretty
good.
schmexy right there.
Yeah, I like that a lot.
Is
I
that what you're
mean,
going to be
people gonna
gunning
choose it over
for if
kill
it
clip?
drops?
But I mean, yeah, I'm open to it.
Yeah.
I'm open to it. I think that's dope. It'll be good for stasis. Again, will people go for that over kill clip? I guess probably not. But I
It
still
opens
think
up more
it's dope.
options, though. It's a good thing.
Yeah,
It's great that
think that's
they added that. That's a different dynamic to the weapon.
Yeah, sure.
Yep.
Checking over. Oh, they've added harmony to it too. I don't know if Shira's would be a weapon that I would go.
I think for
Harmony. That's
snipers, you would.
for snipers. Oh, that's a good call. Because like you pop somebody with
Shotguns, not so
with a
much.
kinetic. Yeah, yeah, that would be crazy.
Yeah, and someone rushes
But-
you, or you can be on the hunt for 7 seconds.
That's not bad. Yeah, you
Actually
could
pretty-
actually collapse. Yeah, like you're thinking what I'm thinking right now. Like collapse on the other
collapse.
team hardcore. You get that headshot with a sniper. Now it's like, oh, time to close in a 3v2 type situation. Boom, harmony activate, and you just clean up hardcore. Not
Yeah.
bad. Trying to see what else
I
they
wish
added.
they would put harmony on Mida Mini Tool.
Ooh.
Yeah.
That would be really
Ooh.
fun.
I really
You
really.
can put
wish
it on
they would.
Drang.
Oh, that's on my wish list now. It's
Hey now.
Could you
Like,
imagine?
Mini Tool does have kill clip, which is cool because obviously you get a kill with it, you can refresh it off itself. But like, come on, man, like make it work with Mida. Like get Mida kill, Mini gets harmony.
Did Messenger have heating up before, or is that new?
No, that's
No.
new, and
That's
I will
new.
be
Heating
looking
up
for it.
Messenger. That seems very interesting.
I'm still on team killing win for that thing. 51 meter 2-tap feels so good.
It does feel pretty good. It's got Encore 2, which could be interesting.
Random world drop weapon talk here.
Mm-hmm.
I think I was pleasantly surprised by Shepherd's Watch and Scaithlock.
Scaithlock
They
has
feel
20 zoom. That it outranges high impact auto rifles because it has so much zoom.
And it doesn't feel like it.
Scaithlock?
Yeah, I was gonna say, like, I don't think it
Interesting.
feels.
Yeah, its
That
base
was it,
range
to be
with no
honest.
other perks is like damage fall starts at like 30 meters.
So I kind of just started playing with my role. I've been wanting a good roll on it. And my role here, I'll tell you what it's got on it right now. It's got Rampage. I believe you can get multi-kill clips, so that'd be better.
It
But
can,
Rampage,
yep.
Surplus, Tac Mag, Extended Barrel, and a Handling Masterwork, which I think is pretty decent. That's 59 range. And it feels really, really good. Like the range, I think maybe because it's a 600 auto, doesn't feel so bad. I actually kind of like it, to be honest. So yeah, I don't know. I'm enjoying it. It feels like it shreds. I love it. And especially with Surplus, it feels just like like laser beam, and I love that feeling.
I'm opening up
then the
D2
Shepherd's Watch-
Gunsmith.
Dude.
Go ahead, Drew.
Mine has
The Shepherd's
poly,
Watch- Oh yeah, go
steady
on.
rounds, stability masterwork, so max stability, tunnel vision, multi-kill clip. It's amazing.
Ooh. Oof, tunnel vision multi-kill clip, man. That's the combo I
it's
want.
it's
That's insane,
77
dude.
stability.
That's pretty
Like,
high.
Dude, yours is
hit the
wild. I'm
nitrous.
just realizing that. You don't even need that much range on it because of the zoom, and you're probably
Because
just
of
like,
zoom.
beaming, dude. Just the actual laser beam. You get multi-kill clip and tunnel vision going on that. That's insanity. Holy.
Which gun were we talking
That's
about?
crazy.
Scaithlock.
Scaithlock.
Oh wow, yeah.
So we're talking about the world
Dear
loot pool,
God.
but
Tunnel vision.
how about
we'll
my
see.
man Zur actually bringing weapons in the past? That is like one of the coolest changes. You
That's a
get to
pretty cool change.
get some of the old weapons back.
Dude, the Scaithlock can roll with a maximum, if I have this right, 81 range. That's like really obscene for an auto rifle, I feel. Especially for an adaptive, like, I don't know, this looks really good. I don't think I've gotten a good one to drop for me though.
I've barely gotten any. I've gotten like maybe 3 drops, and I got that one good one that I said, or one decent one.
Yeah. Can
Cool
you
guys got,
target it
like,
in the
fireball.
in the helm? Like you know, like an umbral engram
so.
type deal?
I don't believe so.
No. That's kind of lame.
I mean, it's just Forward Path was the only other competition. I mean, Gnawing Hunger had Summoner, and those are you could use either one and do good with them. But I think Scaithlock's going to take over that Kinetic 600.
I recently deleted most of my auto rifles from the vault before the season started, but I wanted to try a Scaithlock before I deleted this one, so this one's just gathering dust. It's Arrowhead or Chambered Compensator, Acarize, Surplus, Rampage, and a Stab Masterwork. I think that's
Pretty
going to
good.
beam, but we'll see. I'll try it out, make the review, and we'll see if it survives the next vault cleaning.
And I see it in Twitch
Fair
chat.
enough.
Legal action. That
So
pulse
poor
feels
man's
good.
Which
Messenger.
one is
It
the
does
legal
Yeah, man,
action?
Bunchy's cracking down on cheaters. I love legal action.
So, legal action is the old new
Oh, that's the
Monarchy
pulse
high
rifle,
impact
right?
pulse rifle.
The red pulse rifle.
Poor man's messenger.
Yeah, it's got the new
I do
perk
wanna say
Battle Eye.
people
Poor
are
man's
talking about the servant leader or whatever, the one from Gambit, the new
Randy's.
it's Randy's
One of-
throwing knife, right?
Oh, right.
Big problem is it has 26 zoom, which is like crazy high. You can actually get a contingency plan, which has almost identical stats across the board, but it only has 20 zoom. So if you're trying to use Servant Leader and you're like, I cannot do this, you can get Tunnel Vision Kill Clip on both of them. And Contingency Plan actually has a lot smaller perk pool. So much
Where
higher
does
chance.
contingency plan drop from?
I think it's World. I think it's just a World drop.
Oh, world
so,
drop.
Yeah. So probably Gunsmith and wherever else. So
I cannot stand when we have a playlist-specific weapon with the deepest perk pool I've ever seen in my entire life. Like, looking at the Servant Leader loot pool, it's like, this is obscene. Like, yeah, is it cool that you have the variety there? Sure, I guess. It would be really cool if you could, like, build towards your perfect weapon roll or something like that. But, like, you think
They're
I'm
working
gonna...
on it.
they're working on it. But like for right now,
Yeah,
like, you think
meanwhile,
I'm gonna go
Frozen
into
Orbit.
Gambit and like beat my head against the wall for the drifter for this
I played
thing?
Gambit
Like,
for 2 days a season, and it's the last 2 days of the season when I have to finish all the challenges for Gambit for the entire season all at once.
oh god.
They know
I
what they're
was gonna
doing
say,
though.
What's up?
I would say they know what they're doing. Like I was Gilded Dredgen when Bottom Dollar came out, dude. They know what they're doing.
Bro, I went pro in Gambit when the bottom dollar came out.
Pro Gambit.
I was gonna say I would take a minute to really appreciate that these new additions to the world loot pool have like actually pretty reasonable perk pools, and they all have like a great set of perks that made them a lot better than I thought they were gonna be. There's the Skate Lock, which I said, and then Shepherd's Watch. I mentioned that.
Mhm.
This thing is like kind of like the closest thing we have to like Uzume in the kinetic slot. It's 50 zoom, it gets high handling, it gets snap moving target, so it gets like the
That's good.
mega aim
Yeah.
assist. It's really good feeling, and it's actually kind of weird to get used to, but it's nice that it has a very non-intrusive weapon model, which is great.
Yeah, for sure. Are there any other perks or weapons that we've like? I mean, of course, there's plenty that we've
There's
left out,
tons.
but any real standouts that we wanted to mention or go over?
I mean, so far, I mean, the highlights for me are going to be the sidearm. I think Peace Bond. It's gonna. I think Peace Bond will stick around. It's a good. Like it reminds me of, like, Last Hope when it came out. You know, the rangefinder Last Hope. It's
That's
like a
fair.
pocket
Yeah.
last word.
Yeah.
Been really enjoying
This
that.
one's gonna sound
Last
dumb,
word.
but the hothead. This is not clickbait. It's a weapon I've been waiting
All right,
for.
this I want to hear.
I mean, you know, I abused threat detector in the power slot, and this one happens to have Vorpal weapon as a perk, so now I pull power, and I usually like rockets because it gets rid of the power ammo quickly, yet it's still very effective. So I can get back to playing with my guns, just shoot one rocket. But now, when people panic super me to be like, you're not pulling the power, it's like, psych, I have Vorpal weapon. And it gets them. It does get the kill.
That's not bad.
Especially if you're golden gun, it kills them in another zip code.
And of course,
don't think
threat
we actually-
detector for fun wall hack shenanigans. Well, not wall hack, but extra info shenanigans, I guess, for threat detector. Sorry, what were you saying, Drew?
Talked about Judgment. I was gonna say with we talked about the
Oh yeah,
challenge,
the hand
but we
cannon.
didn't go over Judgment.
Or Annual Skate. They both have.
Oh yeah, Annual Skate's actually really
Uh,
cool. Yeah, sorry.
I have the timed payload, and that's really interesting on a 140, man. I have it's steady hand, accurized, slide shot, timed payload, and I've gotten 2 kills so far. Of people behind cover shooting the ground.
Really?
Pretty cool little gun, man.
To give it a
pretty
shot.
funny. That's pretty funny. Why? What do you guys like about the Judgment? Like, I don't have one yet. Again, I haven't gone into the Prophecy dungeon yet in season 15.
Let me know when you do. I haven't
Oh,
done
I
it yet
will.
either.
Do you want to go
Done.
tonight? Like, we'll get this done.
Oh,
Don't you tip me with a good time, Cam?
right. I mean, F it. Yeah, if you want to do it after that, I'll do it. I'm down.
Oh, I do want to bring up one more perk. Shoot to
Go
loot.
on.
Shoot
Oh,
to loot.
shoot to loot, bro.
Oh,
Is
yeah,
anybody-
it's back.
Dude, and not only is it back, it's better than ever. Like, so shooting an ammo brick picks it up and automatically reloads all of your equipped weapons from reserved.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty good. I have the Vulpecula. I have that with shoot to loot and explosive payload.
That's a fun little combo.
Well, I wanted to see if I could splash damage them behind walls. Like that's one of the main reasons I want to see if that would proc
That
shoot to
sounds
loot.
fun.
Yeah.
Yeah.
That was an infamous D1 perk. It had a glitch where
Yeah,
you
it
could
really
shoot
was,
bricks and get infinite power ammo. Just
Oh, I remember. I remember those.
truth rockets
the
for
dark
days.
times.
Not that there wasn't already infinite power ammo in Destiny 1
Right,
PvP.
right. God in heaven.
Do we miss ammo boxes with the new scav system?
Ask me
Too soon to
again.
tell.
Ask
That's
me
right.
again
Yeah,
after
try
trials.
trials
Yeah.
and-
Ask me
yeah.
again. Yeah. After trials. Well, damn, boys. Good talk. I feel like there's more that we could talk about, but I feel like we've talked about all the top line weapons, all the top line perks. And who knows, maybe we'll hear from our community, maybe on Twitter or YouTube or Twitch or wherever. Maybe we're missing a weapon that is really shining hard or something that's getting slept on. But either way, can't wait to talk about it next time. And we'll also have the experience of being able to talk about trials next time, which, knock on wood, will be a good discussion. But yeah, any parting thoughts before we sign out here?
It's a great refresh to the game, really, to me.
Bro, why Lorentz driver?
I mean, that too.
Lorentz driver.
Cam always says that. It's like, dude, every season it's always something. It's like, oh, it's great, but there's OEM.
But there,
Oh, it's great, but there's,
but there's 3 peaking.
Yep.
Yeah.
This season especially though was like so like it's so good. It's just so close to just complete just greatness. Just like wow, this is.
And the population's coming back up
And then,
too,
like,
man.
Lorentz
That's
driver.
good.
Wow. Lorentz
Crossplay.
driver.
We didn't talk about crossplay.
Oh, crossplay.
Yeah,
Damn it,
dude, I
man,
love
there is a
freezing
lot to talk
crossplay
about.
players with Radiant Dance machines.
Yeah, lots to look forward to. A lot of good things going on for the game.
Yeah, for sure.
Good times.
Good times, boys. Good times. More to talk about next time. Why don't we go around the table real quick? Tell everybody where you can find us when we're not here on the show. Cammy, where can the people find you?
Twitch.tv/CammyCakes, Twitter.com/CammyCakesYT. Thanks, everybody.
Cool guy, how about you?
I am Cool Guy. Twitter is going to be Cool Guy Games, and YouTube Cool Guy Games. Twitch is going to be I am Cool Guy Games.
Drew, how about you?
YouTube, Twitter, Drewski's channel, and Twitch, Drewski's.
Merc, what about you?
I'm on Twitter, Mercury is 904, and also on the Destiny Massive Breakdowns podcast, which records Thursday night and releases Friday morning.
Oh, I heard of those guys.
Can I plug his past podcast with Proctor? Or just you
Oh,
plug it again?
Yeah, do that.
Yeah,
plug it again.
I still
Yeah,
haven't
you guys,
listened to
if
it.
you haven't, you should go listen to the 3-hour-long 2-part podcast with Chris Proctor. He talks about all of the design goals for the Season 15 sandbox balance changes. He actually was concerned that Vex Mythoclast would be too strong. He was concerned that Fighting Lion was too much of a nerf. I think both of those things have probably come to pass a little bit. And then we got to do a little question and answer at the end. He actually confirmed what we had long suspected about stability and its effect on aim assist. He actually confirmed that. So
Really?
Stability, yeah.
With the resetting, that more stability helps it reset quicker.
And it causes it to degrade slower, right? So.
Right. The wow. I feel like we should have opened.
Yeah,
with
we
that.
also should have mentioned the melee rebinding, but we'll get that next time.
Wow,
Pretty
there's
good things.
really a lot to talk about. Good lord. Cool. Where were we? Oh yeah, right.
Truce.
I'm Fallout. You can find me youtube.com/FalloutPlays, twitch.tv/FalloutPlays, everywhere. We got everybody, right?
Drew's need to go, right?
Did Drew not go?
No, I did.
Oh, you
No,
did?
no.
Okay. Might be, might be.
I cut Drew off. Drew, go.
No.
Oh no, you did. I didn't cut Drew off.
Yeah.
Damn it, Cammy.
We're good.
With your cat ears. It's actually a pillow. Thank you
Yo,
very
we're
much.
gonna get that cat dance, man.
Don't call it that. The people on Twitter get mad if you don't call it by the official name. I learned that lesson today. Cool story, Fallout. Thank you very much for joining us. I appreciate all of you very much. We'll catch you next time on Firing Range. Take care. See you later.
Terrible dancing.
All right. Good call.
GG's.
We're still
All right, I
live on
stopped.
Twitch.
Yeah, I stopped. We are on episode
34?
Can you guys believe that?
I can't,
Isn't that
dude.
crazy?
That's wild, man. Wild. Who should we raid?
So Riot is on.
Like that guy?
Mylan, Mikowski,
Like all those guys.
Amaze.
Like all those guys.
I'd like all those guys too.
They're great.
Riot, I vote.
Who do you vote for?
I vote Riot.
You vote Riot? Sure, I'll do Riot. Why not? Yeah, no complaints. All right, here we go.
Everyone
Is it-
listening, thanks for hanging out with us. Or that's
Yeah,
still watching.
we do appreciate you. T1 Riot, right? Okay.
Yes.
T1 Riot. Boom. All right, everybody. Go hang out with T1 Riot, or just Riot for short. He's a great guy. You'll dig him. He's only got 39 viewers, so he'll really appreciate this raid. Go hang out with him. Take care. See you later. Raid complete.